Hello and welcome to ITProTV. I'm your host, Peter Van Rysdam. I'm here with Mike Roderick, and we're continuing to talk about the Delete Facebook movement. And in the last episode with Don Pizzette, we talked a little bit about why everyone is talking about deleting their Facebook. And now we're going to talk about those next steps. So if you're considering it and you want to delete it, or if you just want to get some more information about what information Facebook has, that's what we're going to do right now. And so I understand there's a way, Mike, that we can actually find out the information, the data that Facebook has stored on us and actually get a copy of that?
Absolutely. They've made it pretty easy to see what information they have on you, to get a copy of that. So if you do decide to delete your account, you still have all of that information. So let's take a look at that. I'll jump onto my screen here. I've got Facebook pulled up, and if I zoom in up here to the top, right next to this little question mark, little drop down list, I'm sure there's several ways you can get here. This is just one of them. I'm going to go into my settings. And from the settings page, right in the middle here, you'll see a link that says download a copy of your Facebook data. So I'm going to click on that, and I'll zoom back out so we can see everything that's going on here. It tells me I can download my information, and I've got a green button right in the middle to start my archive. So I'll click that, and it tells me that it might take a little while to gather that information up. My Facebook profile is very teeny tiny. I don't really use it. But yours might be large, and so this could take some time. So what you do is you tell it to start your archive, and then eventually when it finishes, you'll get a notification. They'll email you, hey, you can go and download your data. So it tells me here that it's going to email me when my data is ready for download. So I'll click OK. Now, I've done this recently just to make sure everything was working for this show. If you were doing this, you might have to authenticate. It'll ask you for your Facebook password just to make sure that you are the one that should be getting that data. Once you get that email, you'll get a link to actually download the archive, and it'll look something like this. It'll actually be compressed or zipped up, but you'll just extract that out. And then in here, in that data, there's an index page and some folders inside there. So they make it really easy to peruse or go through your data. I'll double click on this index file. You'll see it opens up a web page, and it's not being hosted anywhere. If you look at the address bar, it's a local file. But this is kind of your gateway into all those other folders. You could definitely go through those folders. Like if we want to go back over to where that downloaded data is, I can double click on here and I can see the videos. I can come up here and I can take a look at the photos. I think they organize them. I don't know if they do it by date or something
Yeah, it
like
might be by
that.
the albums that you put them in as well. And I'll point out, too, for those of you watching at home, that this data is not fuzzy. We're actually just blurring out some of Mike's stuff that, the whole point of this is about privacy,
yeah.
so we don't want to put all of Mike's stuff out here.
As I share my stuff with
Yeah.
the world.
Exactly.
So this is what it looks like, though. This is the main page. You can see a lot of information about myself, my email address, my gender, my current city, relationship status. Again, it really all depends on what information you've given Facebook in the first place. But you can see like music I've maybe browsed to through Facebook. And then down the left-hand side, I have these links. And these will take me to, for example, my contact information, which I guess I have not updated with Facebook.
Yeah, if you don't put it there, they don't have it.
Yeah, I've got a timeline where I can see, old posts. It starts getting interesting when you start, you've got your pictures, not too exciting there, videos that you've posted. But you start looking at your friends, your received friend requests, your declined friend requests. Hopefully I'm not hurting anybody's feelings there. Messages. This is kind of interesting. So they keep a running history of all of your messages. So I can find somebody that maybe, let's see, Bethany, I used to work with her years ago. If I click on that, here I can see a message. This was back from 2012. 2012. So it goes all the way back to whenever you started up your Facebook
Yeah, so
account.
this is a complete record of your entire time on Facebook.
This is everything.
Yeah.
Yep. Your pokes, events. It starts to get interesting too. When you start looking at ads, I can see what ads I actually clicked on. And I can come down here and I can see, zoom in for that, advertisers with your contact information. And I think Don showed you some of the stuff you can see while you're logged into Facebook. But here you get a list of all of the different advertisers that they've shared my information with.
Yeah, when you're on Facebook, we saw with Don some of the ways that advertisers are targeting you, but this is actually showing you the advertisers that you've interacted with.
Absolutely. Applications that I've given access through my Facebook. So yeah, Futurama was a great game. But that's it. So this is what you can get from Facebook. The idea is you can download this if you're curious to see what Facebook has stored. You can request some of this information. You can start deleting things if you want. Or if you do plan on deleting your Facebook account, good way to check and see what's up there and make sure you don't want to delete something, then maybe lose pictures or something like that.
Yeah, and as we talked about with Don, if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch that for a little bit of backstory on where this is all coming from. But it's not so much about the information that Facebook sees, but the information that Facebook shares externally with advertisers, with people that you've actually logged into websites using Facebook's authentication through. They're able to get all that information as well. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this information. If there's things you want to delete off of Facebook, it's not just what Facebook sees, but what they're able to share as well. So any other closing thoughts there, Mike?
Not really. Stay off of Facebook now.
Well, it sounds like at this point it's kind of a personal preference, and go through. You can take a look at all the information here. You can make a decision about what you want to do. I mean, as Don and I were saying, it's a free service, and the cost of using the service is giving up some of that data so they can make their money selling the ads to you, and or selling the ads to be displayed to you.
Right.
And that's what's happening here. But I guess that's going to do it for us on this one. If you want to learn a little bit more, we're going to have one more episode with Cherokee Boost where we show how to actually go through that deletion process. There's actually two ways. There's deactivation and deletion of your Facebook account. So we'll get into both of those and show the differences and how you can do that. And if you want to learn more about IT, check us out over at ITPro.TV. We've got a lot of great content there on security and things like this, as well as for those of you just getting to IT, some Office content, Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, all those great things to check out as well. That's over at ITPro.TV. But for now, for Mike, I'm Peter, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.